Big Cat, how are we doing this Friday?
I'm great. You should vacation shame your partner because he did the classic double dip. You guys were off, I assume, for 4th of July.
Yeah.
And then he took a vacation the week after.
That's quality move by him.
Yeah. Veteran move.
Yeah.
Hi, Peggy. You should be getting like quadruple pay for how much you have to fill in for Silvy who doesn't want to work.
I appreciate that. He's hobnobbing. You know, he cannot go on a vacation without
finding a celebrity. Yes.
I know.
I swear to God, he's like my sister-in-law. She sniffs out a celebrity everywhere she goes. I swear to God.
It's picture time.
Yeah. Yeah, there he goes.
He told me, too, that he ran across your agent.
Yes.
Not only
it's his, too.
Yeah. Not only your agent, but also Magic Johnson. And he got his picture taken.
Magic Johnson was the big one. He sent me a text of our mutual friend and agent, and then like 2 minutes later was like, "Oh my God, Magic Johnson is here," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Hey, I don't know what you want me to say to that. You're in Italy and you're hanging out with Magic Johnson. Yeah. Great job.
Life's pretty good.
The thing is, he's not hanging out with Magic Johnson.
No, he's not hanging out with him.
He's annoying him by asking on his vacation time, on Magic's vacation, to take a picture.
Yeah, he probably went and bought a jersey and got it signed.
Do you think that, okay, this is a really good conversation. Do you think it's like, Peggy, do you think it's fair or foul that when you see Magic Johnson that you go up to Magic and you ask to have your picture taken?
Well, here we go. You guys have both been asked. You guys have both been on personal time when someone stops you and asks you.
I'm more than happy to do it.
I think that it depends on what they are doing. If they are just walking and, just like I saw Jeremy Allen White on the airplane. I moved my seat. The seat that I was originally planned to sit on was right next to him. And for some odd reason, I moved to another seat.
Why?
Because I wanted an aisle seat. And I did not know he was going to be sitting there. Okay. So all I did was say to him, this was a year ago, I love the bear. I said, I love the bear. And I just said, it's great job. That was it.
Yeah.
Well,
was he gracious?
Before you know it.
Was he gracious?
The flight attendant's asking for a picture. It was awful. After that, he had no private time.
So you started it.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did.
You guys, I did not. Big Cat.
You absolutely did.
What do you think the rule is?
Honest, all right, so it's different for us, and I say that, and I love taking pictures with fans. It's awesome. The only time that I'm even a little hesitant is if I'm with my kids and actively, parenting, and I'm like, hey, I don't really want to take eyes off my kids. But even still, my kids are kind of aware of it now, and they just kind of stand off to the side. It's different for us though because we're in the business. So if I saw Magic Johnson, I don't think I'd ask for a picture. I think, especially in a vacation setting, I think I'd just say hello. I'd just be like, hey, big fan.
Yep.
If it's in a setting where it's like, okay, Super Bowl week, Vegas, everyone's in that mode, that's a totally different situation. But, yeah, I think I would play it cool, and I'm always like, hey, maybe I can become friends with him.
Do you think
without asking for a picture.
Do you think it was over the top for Silvy to ask him for a tour of his yacht?
I'm sure he did. But I feel like you got to play it cool. Now, I will sometimes, like a Magic Johnson, and this is kind of a code that me and my co-host PFT and our producers all have, that if we see someone like that, we're going to probably ask them to come on the podcast, which is the worst thing you could ever do to a human being.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, but that's also that's also just the psychotic nature of myself, always competing. If I see someone like Magic Johnson, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, come on my podcast," but I'll have that little angle, hey, maybe there's something I can mention to him that he's like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
So, and that's more I owe it to all the other guys. If I say, "Hey, I saw Magic Johnson," they're like, "Hey, is he gonna come on the pod?" I have to have an answer for that.
Yeah.
So it's more, we're always just trying to get the best for the audience and find different angles to do that. There's a video out there, Super Bowl week. We essentially accosted Mark Davis when we saw him.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to pretend that I'm better than anyone. I'm always working. So Silvy probably didn't even think about asking for Magic to come on your show.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Oh, I'm quite sure.
I actually, when he sent me the picture, I said, "Hey, did you book him for the show with us?"
Yeah.
a laughter emoji.
You think he asked him why he fired Ron Rivera as one of the new owners?
I think he probably asked him
Right?
how he felt about winning time.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is the move that Silvy would make. Hi, Magic. I'm Mark Silverman, good friends with Michael Wilbon. He says great things about you. It's an honor to meet you.
Yeah. That's a good angle, though.
Yeah.
That's a good angle. I ran into Kurt Warner Super Bowl week. I was in Vegas, leaving Vegas as the Super Bowl week was starting. He was sitting in the same restaurant at the airport by himself. We were at the table right next to him. I just turned around, said, Kurt, Peggy Kaczynski, ESPN Radio Chicago. I said,
wow, you dropped the call signal?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Hey, you did a little,
She
you did a
sent
little
the credentials.
station identification?
Yeah.
But you know-
Station identification?
So you would never say that you're with Barstool if someone didn't recognize you right away?
Yeah, I would. I mean,
Yeah.
the beauty, like, I'm very blessed. So we've had so many people on the pod. So like a Kurt Warner, I'd be like, hey, he's been on the pod. So I'd try to refresh his memory because I also am not stupid to think that anyone who comes on will recognize me for the rest of my life. But I'll be like, hey, we've actually interacted. You've been on my podcast. So I'll throw a little of that.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous person you've ever introduced yourself to?
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I was just in Tahoe, and Waddle, did you ever play in that tournament? You should have.
Oh, the American Century?
Yeah, we
No,
were
I
there
haven't.
for the whole week, and it was incredible because it was basically a better Super Bowl week because it's all these quarterbacks and athletes and actors, and they're all in the best mood ever because Lake Tahoe is like heaven on earth.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like Max from Always Sunny, I went up and introduced myself to him, and it's like, you know, he's aware, so it was cool. It was a good conversation. But
Did
yeah, like there's people I'll take my shot with.
Have you ever taken your shot with someone really, really famous and they looked at you kind of sideways and you were like, oh man, that didn't go well?
Early Barstool, I did go up to Vince Vaughn at a Blackhawks game, and he was just like, okay. So, but he's also just, he gets mobbed at those games. So that was probably, I probably wish I had that one back.
Okay.
I don't hold that against Vince at all.
Did you play out in Tahoe with?
I did not.
No.
They asked us for our handicap, and then they're like, yeah, you can't play. You'll kill too many people.
That's funny.
So, but we did a bunch of interviews. I got the caddy for Blake Griffin for a few holes. So it was fun. It was a great time.
Why aren't you at Saratoga right now? The good kid, Johnny the good kid, Yurkovich, just hit an $800 exacta, $1 exacta box.
Wait,
Yes.
this last race?
While we were on crosstalk.
On the air, he hit.
What was the number? I bet that race.
He bet 8 all 8,
Yes.
and the 11 finished at 34-1. Finished first, and the 8 finished second at 14-1, and he walked away with $450.
Race 6 finished what? 8-11?
No, it finished 11-8. 11-8.
Dang. I couldn't watch it because I literally bet that race. I couldn't watch it.
What did
because
you
I'm on
bet?
with you. Look at me. I had the 10 and the 5. The 10 won. So you.
No, a
About
couple
the
of
10
races
won.
ago. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
a couple races ago.
Because it was
I
right
was
about
getting-
45 minutes ago.
excited. I was getting excited there because the 5 that I bet in that race was like 10-1. So I was like, maybe I hit it too. All right. Well, I didn't.
Different
I
race.
struck out, but that's okay.
What was the
Yeah,
name of the
that's
horse you bet?
Oh man. let's
Cigarette
see.
boat?
No, I don't know. I don't really bet names. Every now and then I will. I mean, I didn't bet Mystic Dan in the Kentucky Derby. That was an all-time blunder by
Dumbass.
me.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. How about that?
Well,
That's
I mean,
really
so why? I mean,
stupid.
are you going to Saratoga? I mean, that's heaven on earth.
It is. I was there for the Belmont. I'm going to try to get back another point in the summer, but summer, I don't know. You guys probably disagree, but once July 4th happens, the summer just goes into overdrive, and it's like blink, and then it's football season.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't have weekends left. Like I looked at the schedule and I was like, I don't even know. I got to get back to the Sphere. And I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Well, I mean, listen, I think this time next week, everyone in a Bears uniform will, in fact, or everyone on the roster will have checked in, won't they?
That's a fact. Yes, that's a fact. I was all right. So here's a good one that made me feel like an idiot. I went to the NASCAR race last weekend. There was this big room that they were having everyone in, and Cole Kmet, who I'm friends with, we were talking, and then I saw out of the corner of my eye, Bulls' #1 draft pick or 11th pick, first round pick, Matas Buzelis, and he had worked out in the Barstool office. I had met him like a month ago. He worked out in our office.
Wow.
So I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, Big Cat Barstool, you worked out in our office?" He had no idea. He was just like, "What?" And I was like, I just slinked away, and I was like, "Man, that really did not go well." But he's also 19.
Well,
so.
I was going to say, you're more famous and more accomplished than he is, so the joke's on him right now.
Yeah, I thought maybe we had a connection because I literally watched him have a private workout at our office, and it was he's had a whirlwind the last month, so I don't hold it against him either. But that felt really small when I watched. Like I literally left from talking to Cole, went back to Cole, and I was like, that didn't go well. And he's like, "Oh man, I watched, and it didn't look good."
Cole could be one of the nicest young men in all of
Ever.
Chicago sports.
Ever.
And this is
he's the absolute best.
He's fabulous. And this is how you know you're old, is when you were a teammate with his dad.
I was just going to say, did you play with his
Yes,
dad?
with his
I
dad,
remember
Frank.
covering his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank was great.
Wait, so Waddle, you never played in this tournament, back in the tournament?
No.
You got to get in this tournament.
No.
Come on, we got to just say you're an 85 Bear. We'll get you in.
Well, I'm not going to go in there in a fraudulent manner and then get kicked out like 3 holes in.
I'll handle it. I'll handle
Robbie
it.
Gold is out there, isn't he? Isn't Robbie
He
out
is.
there?
Yeah, Urlacher, saw him. He's out there. It's like everyone. It's crazy.
Guys,
And
just
they all are in the best mood.
yeah.
Of course, because it's on a golf course.
Well,
They're-
and for the
Right.
current players, this is kind of like the last hurrah before they all head off to camp as well.
Yeah, what was it like? Was going to camp like the last week of summer for you? Was it similar to like going back to school and you're seeing the back to school ads on TV and you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
like every day feels like Sunday for a week.
Yeah, because like back in the day, honestly, it was torture. Camp was 5.5 weeks long. It was 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the afternoon. And if you played special teams, you got like 40 minutes to eat, and then you were out at, lunchtime for an hour and a half. So it was a grind. But I got to say, when it was time for camp, it was time to go. I was glad we went to Platteville. I would not have wanted, at least back then, to be practicing in the same kind of area where I lived. I needed to get away and go focus on the job.
Right, and also, I think there is something because a lot of teams have changed it after COVID, where they're doing it at their facilities, and
Yep.
it's like, I don't know. There's definitely probably a little bit of team building that's lost on that.
Yeah.
Where you all go away somewhere and you're kind of removed from everything. So yeah, I agree. Make training camp like tough again.
I think like there aren't very many teams that go away. I know the Cowboys still go to California, don't they? I think the Cowboys leave and go to California despite having, an immaculate setup. I don't think many teams kind of leave their area any longer because they all want to control everything about what's going on. And in some
right.
ways I don't blame them, but it's just different. It's different.
Yeah, we lost a little something.
We did.
Lost a little something.
Well, with that said, have you been able to ramp up your enthusiasm and your expectation for the start of this season?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay calm though, because last year took a toll on all of us, I would say, and the excitement level is, I don't know, what would you say? Like it's maybe year one Tressman. That was pretty crazy. We were pretty excited year one Tressman, but it's in maybe 2019 after the 2018 season. I'm trying to stay calm, stay cool, not get too excited because I just don't want to get hurt right away. So we're just going to take it day by day.
Let me ask you a question. If you had to put a sizable amount of money down on the following to bet on whether or not the Bears would, in fact, win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, would you bet on them or against them to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
I would bet on them.
I'm not talking pocket change or couch change. I'm talking about an enormous amount of money if you were forced to make the play.
Yes, I would. Yeah, why not? Let's be optimists. 5 years is a long time. That's the window.
By the way, what was the art? Tyler was telling me the story. There's like, what was it?
Sports Illustrated had, I think, like 8 writers pick who's going to win Super Bowls over the next 5 years, and the Bears were not one of the teams selected.
Yeah, well, I understand.
Yeah.
That is like the outside looking in. We're on the inside. We have different feelings, but yeah, I would, if I were a national Sports Illustrated writer that had no affiliation with the Bears, I'd probably
Yep.
Oh,
We'll put that up. We'll have that be part of the motivation.
okay. That's fine. By
Did
the
I
way,
cut out?
Yeah, you did. That's right.
like I get my house back, right? Because the Cubs are back on track to go to the postseason.
The Cubs might be back.
Right.
The
Oh,
Cubs
God,
might be
you
back.
guys.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys.
We had same kind of
Oh, my
same
Lord.
same concept. Big Cat, me, and Sylvie. It was you had to pick what were the three available teams. It was either the Bears, the Cubs, or the Bulls. Is
The
that
Bulls, yes. Yeah.
most likely to get to the postseason this year?
Yeah.
And you had to
Yeah.
bet your house on it. Who would you choose, Peg?
The Bears.
You would.
Yes.
I see. I did not. I chose the Cubs.
No.
Big Cat
I
chose
chose
the
the-
Bulls.
Well, the Bulls
chose
go to
the Bulls.
is the play-in
No,
considered
the
a
play-in
playoff?
is play-in is
A
not considered.
postseason game. It doesn't count for anything.
It's not considered the playoffs for this bet.
Wow.
No, because they'll be in the play-in. We know that.
Right. That's their goal. Exactly.
Yeah, they have it's like the rivalry games when you have the big clock. They probably have a big clock at the United Center that's like this many days till the play-in game.
That's great. So you would say the Bears?
I would
Peg.
say the Bears. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's that record going to have to be for them to get there?
Well, that's the problem with this division.
Right.
That
You
is.
remember, again, this is
I
not
know.
a casual bet. If you win, you get to
I know.
keep your house. If you lose, you have to give up your house.
All right. That's all right.
All right? You just live in the woods?
10 wins. 10 wins. They can get 10 wins, I think they'll be in the play.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to get 10 wins.
Yeah.
By
That
the way,
feels like it is.
this Sports Illustrated, thing that we were talking about, there were two, didn't somebody say that the Vikings would win two?
No. Two
Or two
people
people
said
said
that the
the
Vikings would win one.
I don't see that.
Oh. What?
I don't see
Yeah,
that.
that's crazy.
Can I be the first to say that Sports Illustrated is not the same? Like, we're giving.
I don't know if you're the first to say it, Peggy.
I mean,
I think
hello,
you might be
guys.
the last. You
Yeah.
literally might be the last.
I mean, we're treating it like they are the Sports Illustrated of 40 years ago, and they're not.
Yeah, this could be AI. Like they did the AI. Didn't they have a big controversy
Yes.
that they were just having AI stories? So yeah, this could be AI.
Yeah.
Have you guys had Paul Skeens on yet?
No, I mean, he is electric.
He's going to be a starter.
He's awesome. He is awesome to watch, and I wish they'd kept him in. I understand why they didn't, but I think you always root for a guy to have a chance at that. But yeah, he's electric. I mean, there's nothing better than having a young stud like that, which we have. Justin Steele is the most underrated pitcher in baseball because I think that, last year he was very, very good, and then he gets hurt opening day, so he goes a little under the radar, but the guy is an absolute workhorse.
And Major League Baseball finally made a really smart decision, and that was to start him. I mean, in years gone by, they probably would have said, well, he doesn't deserve it because he hasn't earned, he hasn't been in the league long enough. This was a smart decision because you're going to get a chance in the first inning. You're going to see him. You're not going to see him in the sixth inning against some of the backup All-Stars. You're going to see him pitch to Judge, and you're going to see him pitch to Juan Soto. I mean, it is going to be must-see television for an All-Star game that most people don't give a rat's ass about.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about the All-Star game is I as dumb as the rule was, I did like when it meant something when they decided home field advantage. And the interleague play has definitely changed the All-Star game because when in the 90s, it was like you'll never get to see these guys match up. And now you get to see it, the Pirates are probably playing the Yankees next weekend.
Right. No, it should. I mean, I'm not normally one that makes the All-Star game something I'm going to have to watch. I'll be in front of my television watching Paul Skeens square off with the American League in the first inning. I mean, I think it's something I'm interested in.
Yeah, and it's the MLB All-Star game is the only All-Star game that they actually try. So there's always the interesting factor in that where you can tune in and you're not watching, NBA or the Pro Bowl, whatever the Pro Bowl. I mean, the Pro Bowl is just like dodgeball now, right?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, have things thawed between you and some of the big shots up at Hallis Hall? Any chance we can have you up there for a practice when camp starts?
Yes, I talked to Ryan Poles, and we're back on good graces after I drunkenly FaceTimed him.
You did what?
What?
Oh, did I not tell you that?
No.
story?
What?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Made a mistake.
no.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I was doing it for us. we were at the beer games in Nashville, and David Bakhtiari, who's a great guy, even though he was a Packer for Kmet, he's an unbelievable guy. I was like, hey, how you feeling? How's the body feeling? He's like, I'm feeling good. I'm like, do you have a team yet? He's like, no. I was like, what about the Bears? We could use some depth. And I was like, why don't we give it a shot? Big mistake.
So you
But
FaceTime?
we rectified it. Yeah, he didn't pick up.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That would have been
I was
hilarious.
so I was hammered.
Those drunk
And
texting,
I
man.
woke up with the most insane anxiety when I was just like, wait, did I really do that? God, I haven't done anything like that in a long time. But we smoothed it over.
You're a puker, aren't you?
I am. I've always been a puker, but the thing is, I'll say, listen, people seen a lot of videos of me puking. I'm always been a puke and rally guy.
Right.
So, like, I'm not a puke and it ends my night. I'm a puke. I just needed to clear some space. Let's keep going.
I don't think being a puker is a bad thing. I think it actually, yes, you can puke and rally, and I believe those who puke probably feel better the following morning because they get all that nonsense out of them.
Right. It was, you know, if I can defend myself for a second, it was probably about 15 beers, maybe smoking a little, maybe eating a little too many tacos, and it all kind of was like 95 degrees. So yeah, I had to clear some stuff up.
Were you the only one puking, or was somebody else? Did you have
No,
a
there
brother
were
in
so
puking?
many.
Yeah.
Oh, so many. PFT puked like 2 minutes into the competition. So I was good.
All right. Well, enjoy your final weekend away from, I guess, what would be the start of the NFL season, because this time next week, they're going to all be up at Hallis Hall.
Yeah, and I'll say this, not that I need to plug, but tune into Monday's Pardon My Take. Maybe a former enemy who's now a very good friend is on the show.
A former enemy that is now a very good friend. Is there a chance his initials are AR?
I'm not. I already said my piece.
Okay. All right. I sniffed that one out pretty good, didn't I? That was pretty good. Pretty good detective work for me.
All right. I'll see you guys.
You
Have
got
a
it.
good
Be
weekend.
well.
See
Have a
ya.
good weekend. Barstool Big Cat again, brought to you by Stella Blue Coffee.